what a difference a day makes. The naked eye. Just to the right of those telephone poles, might be able to zoom in, I don't know. Peckforton Hills, Peckforton Castle, and further north of that you got Beeston Castle on the same ridge. On the east side of Peckforton Hills is water pumping station, where a lot of the water for Cheshire comes from, apart from the Dee. 40 odd miles away between Chester and Crewe. Obviously, Llanymynech, the Berwyn Ridge, Moylvra Hill behind Garth Wood. It's Moylvra Hill. The Berwyns, glorious. Some ice around here, in the shadows still. It hasn't melted, so temperatures are still below freezing. And in this paddock, this field used to be horses. You see the one horse shelter there, and some chickens out. And is it still there? Yes, it is. There's still one horse shelter down there. Horses, GGs, GGs. And where you have GGs, livery stables, you have men typically, and also some women, young men, mainly young men, who look after them. Could be called stable hands. What's the opposite of a bride in weddings? You have a bride in a wedding, don't you? And who does a bride marry? It's one of the GGs. Excuse me. And the opposite of the bride, they also groom. I said the G word, damn it. Hope that's not a strike. They tend to the horses. The opposite of the bride is also a noun and a verb. Do the same thing. The opposite of the bride does the opposite of the bride job, where the horses with brushes and all that sort of thing, and perhaps give a shave around the fetlocks around the back of the mane, just to trim it and brush them up to show. Begins with a G. I did let it slip. Reason why I'm being very circumspect with saying that G word. A guy I know uploaded a video in the early hours several times, several different versions, and he had to strip out the two G's, what they're referring to, regarding shall we say the people of noble descent, the bearded peaceful people, men I should say, of noble descent from a certain part in the few thousand miles away in a sandier part of the world, but with a lot of them living over here, and they have a GG. I'm talking here about what's been known about the Rotherham, Rochdale, certainly Telford, Oldham, Oxford, I think Reading. GGs. Right? That's the GGs I'm referring to here. And from a recent court transcript, a lot of this was kept out of the press, even though it was published. In summing up, the judge in sentencing said that a certain Mr. K, oh, what's the name of the London mayor? His surname begins with a K, doesn't it? Surname of the mayor of London begins with a K. Well, shares the same surname with this guy that the judge is talking about, and this guy in the transcript inserted a device up the non-child bearing orifice of an 11-year-old girl to expand it, and then expanded this device to make that orifice larger for him to insert him and his friends too, basically. This Mr. shares a surname with the Mayor of London, and I can't post that onto Facebook, really. Or it's on, I know it is floating around everywhere because you can look it up. Anyway, GGs. And part of the ring of these GGs also in West Yorkshire, Halifax and Huddersfield as well. Anyway, turns out that Oldham Council, by the way, Oldham Council, that's run by, rather the council is infiltrated and has been run unofficially by these noble, peaceful people with beards and who wear those long white dresses and those little hats and things. The noble bearded people infiltrated. Anyway, so that no Oldham Council wrote to Jess Phillips. She's in the Home Office and Secretary of State for Safeguarding. To put her in charge of that is rather like putting either in charge of a swimming pool or in charge of or somebody else in charge of a. No, I can't go into those jokes. I don't fancy getting any of my accounts deleted again, thank you. Anyway, in terms of safeguarding translation, I need to look after my voter base. Sorry, I digress. So they requested her to set up a national inquiry into the GGs to try to determine the scale of the problem nationally after what's come out from Rochdale and Telford and a lot of the other towns I just mentioned. This been going on. There's also Sikh girls who have been targeted as well as white British. Anyway, they requested her to do a national investigation, launch a national inquiry to see where it is going on, following on from the Telford and the Rotherham inquiries. She turned it down, saying, no, it won't be appropriate. I mean, it's not really, we can just, if you want to do one off your own bat, perfectly fine, you can do it. We're not doing one nationally. Oh, no, we're not doing one on a national level. You can all do one among yourselves. So Oldham can do one among themselves if they want. Other councils can do one among themselves. We're not doing one nationally. Oh, no way, Jose. No, thank you. We don't want to get involved with that sort of thing. Thanks. So, I wonder why they wouldn't want to. I mean, considering the scale of it, would you not want to find out who's doing it? Who's been hiding it? As we all know from South Yorkshire police hid evidence and tried to brush parents away, saying, oh, it's all cultural, it's all normal, nothing to worry about here, mate. And yeah, so the global councils were implicated because social services didn't want to get involved either. And in Manchester there was a whistleblower there and she got dismissed, didn't she? I think, forget her name now. So councils sort of just sweeping under the carpet and in the name of diversity and can't upset anyone's sensibilities, blah blah blah. So yeah, you'd thought that'd be a good idea to take a look at the see what it's like on a national level, but no. Yeah, it's not anything much to worry about, really. You know, it's just one of these minor problems that crops up in different parts of the country. Just look at it into yourself if you want. We're not doing it. Cultural sensibilities. Oh, there is another story about what goes on in truck stops in two countries, again in that part of the world. One country where they used to grow a lot of poppies to then inject into people's arms. Begins with an H. World famous for that production. The country begins with an A. And then the country next door to it, where the noble people of peace, these men have a cultural practice of finding boys and having, generally then we're at 11 or 12, but having some what's called bedroom fun rather in the trucks for money. Cultural, and it's widespread, absolutely widespread over there. Oh well, cultural.